What's up, Final fans, and welcome to the Final Fantasy Entertainment and Podcast Network. I am the warrior of hype, Daniel, and joined with me is the Fire Fighter, Vinny. What's up, Vinny? How you doing?
Doing well as always. How are you, Daniel?
Man, let me tell you what. I'm excited, Vinny, because I checked my phone this morning and there was Final Fantasy VII news, and that is always a good day. That's always a great way to start the day. You jump right out of bed when you normally don't jump right out of bed, and you just get excited for the day because you're ready for that podcast later in the evening. And here we are to talk about it, to get hype together, because I could, you know what, I say get hype, but we're already there. We're already there, man. Everybody's like Block Sheep just said earlier, or no, it was King Valvados said earlier. Never been so addicted to social media until today because of all just absorbing it. You know what I mean? We're all hype. We're all just feeding that appetite, and we're all there, man. We're just so excited for June 16th at 6 p.m. for the Final Fantasy VII 25th Anniversary Celebration broadcast. It's a long title, but dude,
and I just want to say
it takes longer to say the name of the broadcast than it's actually going to be on the broadcast because it's only 10 minutes long, Vinny.
And I just want to say when you get to our age, jumping out of bed is risky. So it's that goes to show how excited Daniel was, because it's a risk jumping out of bed because you might pull something.
This is very true, man. You know, this is very true. All right, so what I want to do is I kind of want to jump into. Let's just get right to the announcement. Here we are on Silicon Era once again. They love to compile everything you need right there on their on the website, right in the article. This one's by Ginny Latta, and it's it's Final Fantasy 25th Anniversary Celebration broadcast stream next week, and it's on June 16th, and going to go over the future of Final Fantasy. Let's get the official statement. This is from Final Fantasy VII's Remake Twitter. We will be streaming Final Fantasy VII 25th Anniversary Celebration at around only 10 minutes long. It will be short and sweet, but we have packed in lots of information. So I hope everyone can look forward to the unveiling. Tetsuya Nomura says that. All right, guys. So this is why we're excited, because this is coming from Nomura himself. And the key word that I keep noticing right there, unveiling. Oops. I was just going to click right into it, I guess. But there it is, unveiling. Whew. It gets me all sorts of excited there, Vinny, because it's 10 minutes long. Okay? So it's going to be packed to the brim, but we know that we're not going to get like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a full-on celebration event, right? It's almost like a direct. You know, it's like almost like a state of play or you know what I mean? They're going to just put trailer after trailer. I imagine that there'll be, you know, Nomura will sit down and have like a little talk before the big reveal, which we're going to jump into our predictions for this right away. So, Vinny, what were your thoughts? Because you said something pre-show that I thought was very interesting. But go ahead and give me your full thoughts. Remember, it's a 10-minute show. What do we see within that 10 minutes?
So I think the bulk of it is going to be, the bulk of the beginning is going to be, obviously, I think, talking about Ever Crisis, because that's going to be, we have confirmation that that's September of this year. And we don't have a release date, but we have kind of a release window with it saying September. So I think they're going to focus the beginning on Ever Crisis, give it a release date, and maybe show you, you know, just maybe the UI menus and stuff like that, and what exactly is going to be in it. Then I think they're probably going to talk about some First Soldier as well, because I don't think they ever miss an opportunity to talk about First Soldier, because they're still trying to promote it.
I mean, you gotta build on it. Actually, you know what? While we're doing this, Vinny, so that way we're not just kind of repeating ourselves, because I have the same predictions as you. So I do also say Ever Crisis info don't release. Release date is going to be unveiled as well. And then the First Soldier X whatever collab event. Did you have an
Hmm.
idea of what that collab was going to be?
For First Soldier,
Yeah.
uh, I don't.
Okay, because like season
I
3 is literally just began last week, or
mhm.
maybe a little over a week ago. Season 3 just began, so they're not going to announce season 4. Obviously, that's way off.
Yeah.
Maybe something exciting for season 3, which is, they have done collaborations before, and they've
Mhm.
even done a collaboration with the original Final Fantasy VII, with the
Yeah.
polygon characters and everything.
See, I think the only thing, and this is just my personal opinion, the only thing that's going to get people excited for any type of info for First Soldier would be to say that there is now Steam support. I think that is what everybody's looking for, and I
Mm.
think that if they do want to listen and grow their fan base for this game, that is going to be one of the things that, like, if they're going to talk about First Soldier and that's not it, I think they're going to get more hems and haws than than people praising what it's going to be, because
Yeah, that's
they
good.
they keep putting out good content for First Soldier,
Mm.
but it gets washed out from people saying, I don't want to play it on mobile anymore. I want to play it
This
on
is a
BlueStacks or PC.
great opportunity to jump into this survey I put out, which was
Hmm.
actually it's very interesting, man. So I'm gonna come up to that back to this after we do our predictions. But I do have a survey on First Soldier, and we'll kind of talk about First Soldier a little bit more in
Hmm.
just a bit. Very interesting survey and touching on what Vinny just was talking about. But I would love for them to put this game on console, like that to be an announcement. First Soldier
Hmm.
coming to console, or First Soldier coming to Epic. It's probably going to be Epic Games. Let's be honest.
Hmm. Yeah.
Coming to Epic Games or something like that, Epic Game Store. So yeah, that would be really cool, man. Okay, so go on with your next prediction.
Well, so I was just reading chat. So we have King Valvado saying the unveiling of Final Bar
Final
Line,
bar line. It's a joke, but I imagine it will be though. I bet like
Bard Hero.
whatever. Yeah, the Bard Hero game that you had. Yeah, I bet Final Bar Line will be. It might be one of those things where we're just kind of like Ever Crisis and First Soldier. Remember when those were patented? Like the names were
Hmm.
patented, and we were just like, what the heck does that mean? And now we'll probably have an idea, but it just doesn't seem right. Final Fantasy VII Final Bar Line. Such a
Yeah,
weird
like
name.
did somebody screw up in the patent department? And they're like,
Yeah.
so do for this line right here? Do I just
Is that a bar
do I
line?
just put a bar line for that? I guess. Um,
So yeah,
but
that's interesting.
to continue with the First Soldier, and I know you and I both have heavy feelings about this, but No Way said, I am waiting for them to fix their monetization.
Once
I
again, yeah,
completely agree.
to 100% agree. And once again, we're going to dive into some really interesting numbers that I pulled from the fandom
Hmm.
with the survey. So we'll come back to that in just a minute.
With
Yeah.
but with all of their cool content that, like, you see something, you're like, oh, I really want that. It's locked behind an RNG paywall, which I believe is the
Mm.
worst kind. It's like, you know, like, there's a chance that you'll never get it, no matter how much you spend, and that to me
Oh,
just doesn't feel right.
the
Like
reason why I stopped playing was because of that collaboration event with Final Fantasy VII with the polygons, and I
Mhm,
I think I rolled. I can't remember. It was like over 25, maybe 30, and I never
mhm,
got a single polygon skin, and that
mhm,
was like I just was like this game has broken me. This game has broken
mhm.
my heart. I love it, but it doesn't love me back. You know what I mean, Vinny?
Right.
And that was basically where I left it. And then season 3 came in. I see Block Sheep says it's too late to get back into it. And season 3 it's got a lot of potential, man. Like there's a new map. You're on top of the plate side now. You're on plate side of Midgar. You can go down into reactor number 1. There's a couple, obvious locations that you're familiar with, and some new, like that. It's the full plates that you get to explore, which is cool. First, like plates 1 and 8, you get to explore, and it's just that's really cool. I like the new map. I like what they're doing with the game. But as far as 25th anniversary prediction, I would just, it needs to be brought to Steam or sorry, I keep saying I bet it's going to be Epic Game Store, but like it needs to be brought to console or PC. And
But
yeah,
it would also be nice
it'd be a
if
huge announcement.
if they didn't announce the Epic Game Store, maybe to touch on the monetization thing, because I know a lot of games have done this in the past, where if you miss a cosmetic, because that's to me that's the biggest thing. Like it's not like this is one of the gotcha games where you're spending money and what if you get like a 5-star character, the stats on a 5-star character is great.
Right.
It's just purely cosmetic. It does nothing for
That's a good thing,
your
right?
yeah, no, it's a good thing, but it just doesn't make sense to like locking strong monsters behind an RNG paywall. I get that because, you're going to want to spend money to get strong monsters. Locking cosmetics that don't do anything for gameplay aside from, that's just something you want.
Yeah.
I don't that should be locked behind like a pay $10 for the skin type of thing. Like
Right.
not,
Just purely like, and then like there's a couple other ideas and everything, but let's move on and come back to that in just a minute.
Well, so I was gonna say, it would be cool if they announced like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a shop in First Soldier where it's like retro, like the skins aren't gone. You can still unlock them through gameplay,
like if there's a chance for me to go back and get my Polygon skins that I never got.
Yeah.
I would like that. I would like that.
Yeah, like a retro store.
So if they announce something like that, that would be really cool. And they have been cycling in old stuff. So if they say the return of the collaboration between Final Fantasy VII, the original Polygon stuff, if they announce that that's returning, and hey, it's going to be this way, it's going to be something that's going to make us a little happier about it.
Yeah. Missing something because it's behind a paywall kind of sucks.
Oh, 100%.
Especially when you want it.
So bad, yeah. All right, so moving on from there.
I think they're going to end it off with, and I don't think they're going to announce Remake Part 2. I think what they're going to do is announce maybe another Intergrade style thing where it's like Operation Vincent this time, and they're going to, or Operation Sid. It's going to be another DLC to tie us over until the release of Remake Part 2, and it's I think it'll be probably more towards like the holiday, because I feel like they have probably, if they had the foresight to work on it, they would probably already have it in development, and since basically all the pieces are there and it's just the DLC, it wouldn't take very long to work on. So holiday or early 2023, I think, would probably get people the most excited.
That is
because I don't think we're
going
to see Remake Part 2. I don't want to get my hopes up for Remake Part 2, at least.
I got you. Okay. That's super interesting that you think they're going to do another DLC, like to kind of keep us in like an intergrade, like a mid, like we're going to do another one, or like an intermission, I should call it, because that would be.
So Chad is saying that, and I didn't know this, but they already said that they're doing no more DLCs.
Not going to do any more DLCs. I thought I remembered something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, dude, I think. I really do. So if I could come back to my prediction, since you're saying that's where they're going to end it, like either with a, for you, I guess your prediction is saying either a DLC or it's going to be a spin-off of some sort.
Well, I don't know, because if they've openly said no more DLC, then they'll probably stick to that. I didn't know that bit of information, but
that's okay.
But I guess if they're not going to do DLC, and this is a Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary celebration, and I mean, even Final Fantasy Remake is the one who posted it on their Twitter. I feel like they've got to show something for Remake Part 2 then, right?
So this is what makes me excited about it, right? I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit, because we talked about Ever Crisis info dump. We talked about First Soldier collab event or some sort of announcement, hopefully coming to console, PC. But let's talk about, because we know those two things are going to be there. They have to promote those two things. In some capacity, First Soldier will be there. They're not going to not talk about First Soldier. Now, I think there's going to be a merch line, which I'm completely cool with, right? Like, I think there'll be a merch line with 25th anniversary. You see that sweet logo. They'll put that on some shirts, which I will buy up so much, right? Hopefully they put it on shirts. They're not, Square Enix doesn't usually put, shirts out that well, that many times, that much, I should say. So I think a merch line will be there. Maybe still partnered.
They like pins. They like pins.
They like pens. Sure, yeah, they do like their little pens, don't they?
Yeah,
I'll buy that. I'll buy that pen right there for sure.
I've seen them put out a lot of pins, not a lot of shirts.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we'll get a merch line. Maybe a $12,000 statue. That would be. Oh man, whew. Much as I would love that, I'm not doing that. So Final Fantasy VII spin-off anime or movie is my other prediction. Because at some point there was this rumor. Remember, like it was like a rumor, or it was just completely just blind speculation. But I remember it circling the socials for a while of like Final Fantasy VII Netflix series or something like that. That would be cool if that actually ended up being a thing. And if my personal opinion, I would love to see it either based on the Turks, and kind of like follow the Turks and their adventures like during remake, or in like a little bit before remake and stuff like that, right? Not before Crisis per se, like not like actual before Crisis, but somewhere in between. I think that'd be cool. Or jump us all the way back to the Calamity from the Skies. I would love an anime or a series movie on that whole time frame of Genova falling from the skies, infiltrating the ancients, and all that stuff. That would be such a fantastic series, or a even better game. I would love to have it a game, but that would be a really cool series.
I'm against you on that one, only because I love anime. Yeah, but I'm kind of sick of trying to keep up with all of the compilations where there's just so much media for Final Fantasy VII, where it's like, all right, after you play this game, go ahead and read this book. And then after you read this book, you can go ahead and watch this movie. And then halfway through the movie, stop so you can start playing this game. And then when you get up to this cutscene, finish the movie. And then finish the game. And it's like, there's just so much media. But if they were going to do an anime series, I feel like I personally would want to see Dirge of Cerberus as an anime series, because I think there's a lot of things in Dirge of Cerberus that would be so cool to watch, like, I don't know, Cloud fighting, what was her, Scarlet or something, or Crimson.
Crimson Rose or something like that, right?
Crimson Rose, when he's on the motorcycle and they go to like meet up and everything, and then you just don't see what happens, and like
is it Crimson
Dirge?
Rose?
The red one.
The red one.
The red one. But Dirge of Cerberus, since it was like so unpopular, and it has a decent story behind it, that as an anime series would be pretty cool, I think. But I'm just so done with the compilation.
Well, we know Ever Crisis is going to have Dirge of Cerberus in there at some point, which is interesting. But yeah, man.
But it's I'm so confused as to like, I can't wrap my head around how they're gonna do certain parts of the. Oh, Rosso the Crimson, that's it.
Thank you, Rosso. Thank you. Nobody.
How they're gonna so you're gonna take a over-the-shoulder shooter and throw it into a mobile game and then rework it to be conditional turn-based, or
I have no idea. We're gonna find out the 16th. I guarantee you. I think we're gonna find out the 16th. I think they're gonna show us even. Freaking Advent. Well, that would be amazing if they showed us like what a little glimpse of what Advent Children is going to be like. But even so, to kind of go back to that prediction once again, I made this prediction earlier, maybe last month or so, but I truly believe that they're going to launch this game in September with the entirety of Midgar Like, I think it's gonna be like 3 chapters. It's gonna be like, it's gonna launch day and date with 3 chapters, and that's gonna be the announcement they make. That's my prediction for Ever Crisis. 3 chapters included. It's the entirety of Midgar from the original Final Fantasy VII that brings in the people. They're like, oh my god, this is freaking hype. This is my original Final Fantasy VII. Everybody going to download that game so that they can play the first 3 chapters. Now, whether or not it goes straight to calm after that, like in the next update, or if it's like, okay, so you got your first Midgar, now it's time to go to Crisis Core, or however they're going to do it, I think we need that information delivered on the 16th. I think they need to tell us, like, we're going to cover the entirety of the original Final Fantasy VII first. So expect the first 3 chapters on day 1, and then the next month after that, the 4th chapter, the 5th chapter after that. You know, like every month it'll be a new chapter until the original Final Fantasy VII is done. And then we will inform you on how before Crisis, I guess, if they want to go all the way back to like the beginning and then start telling the story. But I think it's the original 7 first. I don't think they start with before Crisis. You know what I mean? Like if they're going in timeline order, I don't think they're going to say, hey, we're launching with before Crisis. And it's going to be like, cool, people are going to download it, but you're not going to get everyone to download the game, which is what they want to do. Get that install base right off the bat. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking for Ever Crisis.
Here's another last minute prediction. Kind of brought on upon by Block Sheep, because Block Sheep said, or a Turk's show set like detective mystery, and I was just thinking, you know, since Square Enix is trying to touch on every single genre of game, because, you know, we have Bard Hero coming out, which is the Guitar Hero version of Final Fantasy.
Final bar line.
We have you know, a battle royale. We had like they're touching on like every single genre of game. Maybe a Turk's point and click adventure, like for like what was it? Wolf Among Us.
Yeah,
and
like a Telltale?
Batman Detectives. Yeah, Telltale, that's it.
Yeah.
Like a Telltale Turks thing. I feel like that'd be pretty easy to throw together and give the Turks a little backstory. Because
every Telltale developer's like, I hate you. I feel like it'd be pretty easy to throw together.
Well, I mean, there's no combat mechanics or anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I'm not saying that I can just go out and make one because they're so easy.
I know.
Yeah. Compared to like making like a Halo game to a Telltale game, I feel like there's a difference in difficulty there. I mean, the story obviously has to be on point. So obviously the story writers of those
like
games are really, really good.
I guess that would have been more accurate. Life is Strange, because that's Square Enix. But
true.
Yeah, kind of like something like Branching Path. That would be interesting for the Turks. That would be cool. And then somebody had brought up, I think it was Rydia from our Discord, had brought up a MOBA. Now, recently, Vinny, I started getting into Pokemon Unite, and I'm like, you know what? This would be really cool with Final Fantasy VII characters. I would like this. So that would be cool. Just so many different ideas when it comes to like, hey, they're going to announce a game that's in a different genre. So many different ideas for that. It's only 10 minutes long, so we got to keep that in mind, that this event is only 10 minutes long. So we gotta get, like, I know there's like, this thing could literally just blow up to whatever, like our wildest imaginations, but let's try and keep it realistic here. We know for sure Ever Crisis. We know for sure First Soldier. Like, they're going to be there. I say the merch line. I suggest an anime or movie. It'd be interesting. I would like it about Genova the most. Like, I would love the Calamity from the Skies, because you don't necessarily need to watch that series. Like, I don't think they would set up anything that's going to be maybe. I mean, we get to know Genova a little bit more. That would be interesting, because you get to know how Genova's powers work. A lot of her powers are still under wraps. Like, we don't know her powers that well. You get a back when she landed on the planet for the first time, and then you get to see what she's capable of, and then you'll be able to connect the dots and be like, oh, she could totally do this in Remake Part 2 and Part 3. So yeah, I mean, anyways, like, so that would be cool to have the Calamity from the Skies anime or movie or whatever. And then, now here's the big one that everybody wants. All right. And I just know it's going to be there, Vinny. I know it's going to be there, man. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 it's going to be there, because you don't say on the official Twitter account. Let me bring that up real quick. On the official Twitter account was saying it invited everyone to co-stream, right? Here we go. Let me bring up my. All right.
Now, okay.
Look, join us next week for around 10 minutes to celebrate 25 years of Final Fantasy VII. Co-stream the broadcast and share your reactions. You don't say that if you're just going to be revealing Ever Crisis. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think... I mean, yeah, maybe you do say it. But, like, share your reactions. Co-stream the broadcast. Please be excited. And then follow it up with, this time last year, we launched Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on PS5. We hope you're looking forward to the 25th anniversary celebration next week. You know what I mean?
I kind of have PTSD from that time you and I stayed up till 4 in the morning to watch the orchestra because they said there was going to be big news, and we stayed up till 4 in the morning, and it was a 10-minute thing of this dude pushing pins and a shirt. And
look, he's wearing the shirt.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look, he's wearing the shirt. When it came back from them showing the shirt, it went back to him.
It was the best. He's wearing this, and then it started off with like a dun, 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 Final Fantasy VII news bulletin, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then it was like, hey, we got a new line of shirts here.
Yeah,
he's wearing the shirt.
We have shirts and a wallet, and it's like, and some pins, and then there was like a $12,000 statue that they were promoting too. Like,
Valvados pointed out a good one right there. 2015, almost 7 years ago. Once again, 7 popping up. 7 years ago, almost to the exact day, they revealed Final Fantasy VII Remake, in which the world just simultaneously exploded. You know what I mean? And I did as well. You know if you know what I'm trying to say there, Vinny. I took off all my clothes that day, and I just for no reason. So yeah, I mean, like, dude, we're talking like so many things just coming together. This Integrate was revealed or released a year ago this time. This time 5 or 7 years ago, Remake was announced. This time, freaking
25 years ago.
25 years ago.
7 was released.
All right, so anyways, yeah, dude, like, there's so many little hints. And then also what I noticed on Twitter was just like general Square Enix posting about getting excited for this event, like share and even people who work for Square Enix saying, please be excited for this event. And I'm just like, okay, they are really hyping this thing up. And I think they're going to do, as far as Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is concerned, because I know I just know it's going to be there. Right. Somebody even commented on this, and if I could find who it was, I want to give them credit. I mean, it's just a state. It's just a little. It was Rob Peck commented on the on my tweet and saying, I can't believe I'm saying this, but with how they're hyping this up, feel free to stream, don't miss it, etc. I would actually be surprised if there isn't something revealed for Part 2, which is crazy because, like, the story leading up to this event would be I would be surprised if there was, like at Summer Game Fest. I'd be surprised if there was any at State of Play. This is like he's saying I would be surprised if there wasn't.
So there was another thing you had mentioned. I'll let you say it, but somebody was seen on stage wearing a certain.
Oh Jesus! Here we go, Vinny.
So go ahead. Relinquish that information.
Relinquish it. Relinquish the information. Oh, here he is. This is coming from Audrey. Everybody loves Audrey. Gak posted a video yesterday of himself singing in concert while wearing his Final Fantasy VII Genesis costume. Can't be a coincidence, right?
So
there's that.
There's
There's
what
Gak.
was my reaction? What was it? Oh no.
Oh no.
What did I say? I said oh no.
Oh no. But yeah, so
No.
the furthermore, this was actually originally tweeted from like where's Night Sky Prince? Wait, yeah. Here it is. Originally coming from Garnix. And Garnix says, also just a few days after Gax shared a video of him dressed as Genesis, you click into that Instagram account, and guess what? Sorry, this page isn't available anymore. Right? And
Yep.
and his Twitter account is now set to private.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then, of course, Night Sky Prince. Oh,
It's gonna happen.
he said, I'm looking forward to fighting him with Cloud and Zack teamed up at this point. That kind of stuff. Just woo. I can't. I don't want to get into a bunch of speculation. This is a celebration event prediction. But I personally do not like Genesis. It's going to take a whole lot for Remake Part 2 to get me on board with Genesis. Mainly just because of the Nibelheim scene, of him like talking to Sephiroth during the Nibelheim incident. That part upset me because I was like, this is weird. Sephiroth doesn't need you to this stuff. But anyway, nothing shall forestall his return, and that of course is not going to be just pushed aside. That is part of the compilation. He is going to return, and it's going to be. Will he be shown in the trailer for Part 2? Like this teaser or whatever is going to be coming. Like, will he be teased, and will he be the thing that gets people talking for the next year? 2 years until Remake Part 2, because it ain't coming out next year because of Final Fantasy 16, and then we got maybe 2024, which is what we predicted in the first place.
I think if they show anything for Remake Part 2, I think it's literally just going to be like black screen, fade out of black, and then it's going to be on a boat, and you're going to see a sailor, and then the camera's going to start zooming in on the sailor, and then Barrett's going to turn around.
Yes!
And then that's it.
Yes!
And then
I want the reverse of that. I want it to be like zoomed in onto this big white space screen, where it just keeps on becoming a white space screen because he's so wide. He's a freaking bear in a marshmallow suit. And then you see that it's Barrett, and then it zooms out.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to go for. That, or it's going to be a soccer ball hitting Red 13.
Oh, love it.
One or the other.
I love it, man. And then Cloud just kicking the ball in the ocean. Just repeatedly kicking the ball in the wall. Just freaking.
I used to sit there for minutes on ×3 speed, just bah, 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 and those little kids were just watching me like, man, this guy sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. I would like to see that kind of stuff. Shoot, they're just chilling on the beach of Costa del Sol, and it's literally just the chilling on the beach, drinking like a drink. Maybe it's Hojo chilling there getting suntan, and then he's just
in a full lab coat.
Yeah, getting his suntan, and he's just drinking his drink, and then like it's just really quiet. All you hear is the waves crashing on the shore. It's just waves, and it's very soothing. And then it just pans out, and then it just brings in the title reveal, and then
Final
that
Fantasy
way
reunion.
Exactly. I think that's the big thing of the trailer or whatever this thing is on the 16th. I bet it's a title reveal, like it's the logo reveal, so that way now people can actually put a name to this thing rather than just saying Final Fantasy VII Part 2. Hashtag it, have the logo, spread that thing like wildfire. Like it's going to be I feel like it's going to be a logo reveal. In my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a key art. I think it's just going to be key art with a logo reveal and maybe Nomura talking about it over it, in which I would still lose my mind. At that point, like, I'm just telling people because they're like, hey, dude, curb your expectations. And I'm like, listen, even if it's a key art, I'm going to flip out, bro. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to lose my freaking mind over it, even if it's just a key art. Like they did with Cloud standing in front of Midgar, and then like Sephiroth behind the Shinra Tower. Like that was the first ever key art for Remake, and that was enough. So I think we're going to get that, man.
I like what Noe said. Noe said, it starts like that and then ends up being final bar line as you become a bartender in Costa del Sol. It's a rhythm game.
It's the rhythm. Final bar line is now. It's a spin off of Final Fantasy VII, and it's a yeah, the bard hero. I love it. So I think we're gonna get the title, man. I think we're gonna logo reveal, and I think definitely get a key art. And if I had to say something, just because of Gact being Genesis very recently on stage, it kind of makes me think that he's coming back, and he might be teased at the end of the trailer. Whatever the teaser trailer is, he is the teaser. So basically, it's like, maybe we get. I don't think it's going to be that calm, soothing thing, or the ship thing if Gact is going to be there. I think we'll get a pretty cool looking trailer, maybe the main party, maybe Sephiroth a little bit, or something, just a nugget, bro. Like, it's going to be a nugget for us to just dissect for the next 2 years, or until the next info drop, which is going to be another, you know how long these things go. So I really do feel like we're just going to get a little bit for us to analyze and just feed us until the next drop. And that little bit of a thing would absolutely be Gact. Like, I mean, that would get everybody talking. You know what I mean? So,
isn't it so funny how we can
Genesis.
talk? We can talk so long. We can talk for 41 minutes and speculate on what 10 minutes of content is going to
yes. Right.
They have to fit it in 10 minutes worth of content. So it's like, what are they gonna give Remake Part 2 the bulk of it? Are they gonna give Crisis Ever Crisis the bulk of it? Are they gonna throw Chocobo GP in there? You know, because I don't have a Switch. Do you have any news on Chocobo GP? Is it flopping? Is it?
They just did a new season is out. It's got Balam Garden is the new racetrack. That's just, once again, a game that was plagued by monetization that was just absolutely horrendous, dude. Like, it was just horrendous. So I paid money for it. It wasn't a free to play game, dude. I paid, you pay money for it, and then you end up feeling like, dude, what? Why are you keeping everything locked like this? This is not cool.
You already bought the game. The skins or the playable characters should just be unlockables at that point.
Exactly, man. So that was it's not, I don't know if it's necessarily flopping. I honestly don't have that kind of information. And I didn't put it on the survey, which we're going to get into the survey here now.
Okay.
Very soon. Like, what do we got? Do we want to kind of like keep our excitement rolling for the 25th anniversary, guys? Like, do you guys have anything else for us? I mean, I feel like we covered pretty much everything that could be there.
I mean, we can recap real quick. We're almost 100% certain we're going to see Ever Crisis.
Yeah.
We're almost 100% certain we're going to see Remake Part 2, even if it's just key art. Like, we're almost certain that's a thing because of how this has been hyped. Like, there's an origin story behind this now, you know. Yeah. So those are two things that we think are definite.
And Blockstream, to answer your question, yes, we will be going live Thursday for the event, and everybody will be going live that day. So we're just assuming that we probably won't get that many viewers. But hey, Blocksheep, if you want to spend that time with us and get hype with us, we would love that. We would love to have you, man, because we're gonna be freaking going nuts, and we're gonna be probably making like an hour out of this 10 minutes, man. Or 2 hours out of the 10. We're just gonna keep talking and talking. But yeah,
we also understand if you don't. So
exactly. Exactly. Because everybody's going live that day.
I'm sure NSP, Blitz, Legions. I'm sure they're all gonna be.
Yeah, and of course we will. Of course we will have the video on demand, the VOD will be on YouTube literally right afterwards. Block Sheep is the man. Freaking Block Sheep. We'll be there for sure. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Peter, what's up?
Noah said he's gonna have 10 Twitch tabs.
I will have 10 Twitch tabs open. That's what I was talking about with E3, right? Like, I had posted this thing on Twitter of my thoughts on missing E3 so much, and I was just like, I was like, dude, if you want to get that genuine E3 experience, you need to have freaking 16 tabs open just to feel like you have an audience watching it, right? So they all react at the same exact time. Because imagine, dude, and I said this on Twitter. Imagine if the state of play was on a stage in front of a live audience. Can you imagine the pop off that it would have got? Like if this was a Sony press conference and then freaking Yoshi P comes onto the stage, the crowd would have went nuts. You know what I mean? And then that right there just gives you like this. If you're watching it on a live stream and you hear the crowd going nuts and you see him just like, oh my God, you know, like the humble, you know, like being humbled by all this applause. And then as soon as Final Fantasy 16 or Clive is shown, you hear the freaking shouts, the trailer's over with, and it's just eruption in the audience. That's the kind of stuff I miss so much, because I was like, what you got instead was a very exciting announcement, Final Fantasy 16, right? Like that's freaking, we went nuts about it. And if you wanted that genuine like experience of a stage presentation with a live audience, you would have had to come over to Final Fan TV's YouTube channel and watch me and Vinny lose our mind, and then you have to go find somebody else to lose their mind and find like you just need that. You need that reaction. That's why I really I feel like E3 is very important. Like live shows, not even just E3 because they're just the convention center, but like Sony and like Nintendo, they need to bring it back to those stage presentations, man. I'm telling you, dude, it would have just been so much bigger if 16 was announced on a stage.
Those moments. I mean, I personally believe that the biggest way to hype something up is if other people are hyped about it, and so like the hype in the room is like contagious. And the moments of the trailer when the trailer started getting more into the choral part of the song, and the icons' names were included into the lyrics of the song, and you know, that like just like that grandiose part of the trailer, like I feel like in person that would have just, you know, started a wave, like at a football game, like people would have just been bouncing a beach ball around and throwing frisbees and stuff, like it would have been huge.
Right, man. Oh my God. Yes, Black Sheep. I lost my freaking mind when that remake trailer back in 2015. I have my reaction video. I was thinking about putting that reaction video on Final Fan TV just because it's a Final Fantasy video. Might as well. But I have a reaction video on my separate YouTube channel back before I started Final Fan TV, and I put it there, and I think I might put it back because that reaction of mine is genuine, like just genuine excitement. The first thing I did was call my mom. Like I didn't know what to do with myself. I just called my mom.
Yeah, and you were also suffering from like a severe flu.
I had a bad flu that day. Oh God, but it was the greatest day. Oh man, it's so good.
Fletcher Moose said, "My mom told me she's going live on Facebook and she doesn't even play Final Fantasy."
Yeah, that's awesome. So Peter, if we had talked about it. We literally just talked about it for a long time about what we're hoping for and what we're expecting. Definitely check out the VOD on YouTube if you want the whole thing, but we'll recap it one more time for you. We're expecting Ever Crisis info dump with a release date on it. We're expecting First Soldier, maybe a collab event similar to how they did the Final Fantasy VII Polygon, and then maybe it's with like the Ever Crisis collab event. That'd be interesting. But anyway, so like a collab event, I think we'll get a hopeful. I guess our hopeful prediction would be it coming to the Epic Game Store, PC, and console. It'd be huge for that game. We're thinking a merch line for the 25th anniversary, some shirts, a $12,000 statue. We're thinking Final Fantasy VII spin-off, anime or movie. This is a hopeful prediction. Anime or movie taking place back in the Calamity from the Skies when Genova fell. That would be amazing. Or the Turks. Following the Turks would be cool. And then, of course, a word from Katase or Nomura. Basically just sitting down, talking, and then, you know, here's our key art. Here's the title. Here's our teaser trailer something Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is going to be there. And they're going, I'm just saying, man. And then they'll do that, show, if it's a teaser trailer, I think it'll be less than a minute, maybe
30 seconds,
maybe even less than 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And then like it'll have the official title logo, so we know what to call it. Like, is it Remake Part 2, or is it Reunion, or what is this thing? What's the official title? Everybody can start calling that for the next 2 years.
And super hopeful of maybe a release window, a release year. A release year would be nice.
Yeah.
And then,
like, I don't know like how people would feel about that if they did a release year and they said coming 2024. Like, what would you feel?
Better than not knowing.
Is it better than not knowing?
Better than not knowing.
Yes, I do. I absolutely think it'll be spring or summer 2024. 100%.
Our last, or we're hoping that maybe we'll find out what Final Fantasy bar line is, whatever that trademark is. We're hoping that maybe we'll get some news about whatever Final Fantasy bar line, Bard Hero, Costa del Sol bartender, whatever that's gonna be. We're hoping to maybe get a minute or two of whatever.
The 25th anniversary celebration, June 16th, will be there. We'll have big reactions for it, and you can catch it on YouTube if you didn't tune in live. So there you go, Vinny. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast, man. I know you're excited. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be awesome. Everybody,
I gotta go.
What's
I gotta go download Pokemon Unite since we spoke about it. I forgot to download it.
Hell yeah!
I gotta download Pokemon Unite.
I'm enjoying it, man. I feel like I'm constantly earning something First Soldier. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm constantly getting something, and you know what it does, Vinny? You know what that does? It makes me want to spend real money on it. Like, I don't know what that is, dude. Like, I don't know that feeling, like that strategy to give, and you will receive. You know what I'm saying?
I wish Diablo Immortal would give me something. I've been playing that every day for hours, and I'm just like, I just want stuff.
Dude, you know, Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, if you want to get love, you gotta give love away. You know what I mean? Show me that you love me, First Soldier, so you know what I mean? I'm tired of being a one-sided relationship here. That's what it feels like, Vinny. I feel like that dude that just like keep texting them. You know, I keep texting First Soldier like, hey, everything okay? I haven't heard from you in a while. You know what I mean? I feel like that. And I don't want to. I want them to reply to me. I want them to pick up the phone and call. Okay, Vinny? So, there it is. That's how I felt as an ambassador. Oh, man. So, anyways, there it is. Thanks so much for watching this video, this podcast. And, yeah, if you're a Final fan, subscribe. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to close it out now. Everybody who's watching this live, thank you so much for tuning in and staying active in the chat. That's awesome. Love hearing from you guys. Take care. Bye.
Have a great night.